All right, well, remember these guys? This was from that 900-pound load I brought in recently. And this one looks like it's all about the drives. Yeah, it's all about the drive. Oh, knock it off, Sharky. Come on, let's find out what's inside this thing. Let's dive in. I'm not really sure what to expect. I don't think we're gonna get a lot, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 DVD players in here. I'm thinking that this is a mass recording setup. So you get a master DVD or whatever the file is, and then you record it onto a bunch of other DVDs back when, you know, DVDs were the thing. Well, let's dive in and find out. Let's see, what do we got back here? We got a bunch of screws. We have, let's see if we can get it for you all to see. Probable power supply. No, power supply is here. These are probably just cooling fans here. Rainy day. You have very little sunlight today because it's just clouds and rain. All right, and then we have some sort of, I'm thinking that's going to be a slot card there. Maybe. I don't know. Nope. Just some sort of connector. Those are probably just bracing plates. Now let's get the screws off of the frame. We're going to set those aside because we might need those. We'll see if I want to put the shell back together. We'll use a couple of those. All right, now power supply. Yeah, power supply and a whole bunch of CD-ROMs. I don't see any kind of controller board really in here. Oh, we got a hard drive up here. Huh. Oh, here's a controller board. Ugh. I think that's a controller board there. So, let's see here. Let's see here now. I think what we're going to do for the power supply is cut it free. Normally, we would disconnect it first and then set it free, but I think in this case, we're going to get this out of the way. And let's get all this ribbon wire disconnected up here. For those of you that are new to my channel, my yard allows me to sell them ribbon wire with my number 2 insulated and leave the connectors on. However, your yard may want you to cut those off. Now there's an interesting thing about ribbon wire connectors. Cut that one off real quick. There's usually gold-plated pins inside of here. So you pop off the plastic, then there's probably going to be another one there. Pop that off. Get the wire out of the way. Sometimes the pins will pull out with the wire, not that time. Now these pins are what might be gold plated. And let's see if we can get hold of one. This tool is a little bit clunky. A little bit clunky. This one's a little bit finer here. We got a little finer edge on this one. Let's see. All right, so there's the, that's not at all uncommon to have a metal strip running down the middle of the pins that are plated. So that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, let's see, there we go. This is, yeah, very, very little bit, just the tips are gold plated on this one. But still, you can put that in with gold plated connectors, connector ends for boardsort.com, or you can pluck out all those gold pins and try to get that tiny little bit of gold. Or you can just leave it on your wire and sell it to your scrapyard, if they'll let you do that. Excuse me, sorry. Frequently, always, it comes down to what your buyers are willing to buy as to what and how you sell things. Because you can't sell stuff unless you have a buyer now, can you? All right, we're getting all this ribbon wire out of the way. Now again, my yard does not require that I cut these ends off. If you're going to sell this to board sort, I'm thinking that you I guess board sort would take it. Definitely board sort will take it if you cut it like that. And then you take some tin snips or something like scissor like things, and board sort will definitely take that. And I don't know, they might let you get away with this. They might let you get away with that, but if you're gonna go through the trouble to cut them off to sell them, might as well go through the trouble to do it right. That's what I like to say. If it's worth doing, it's worth doing right. For me, though, I don't mess with it. And why don't I mess with it? Because it costs me anywhere from 75 cents to $1 a pound to ship stuff to board sort. And the gold plated connector ends don't pay enough to make it worth me shipping. By the time I pay for the shipping, I'm not making any money off of it. All right, so we have a nice board here, green on both sides. We've got some components, we've got some visible gold. So this is a peripheral board, borderline peripheral high, because we do have quite a few components on here, but we also have a little bit of junk on here. I'm going to put it in with my peripheral high. Stop it! Don't do that. Don't knock it over. All right, now get the power cords disconnected here. These are all IDE pin connections, so that's good. That means the hard drive is going to be a high-grade hard drive. All right, there's our get some wire out of the way. Ba-ba-da-ba. How do you want to come out? Looks like I need to take these screws off of this board here. Any other screws on there? Nope. So that's that was our sort of controller board. The ribbon wire from the hard drive went in here, and then all the CD-ROMs went on here. So this was your controller board. And then there was a ribbon wire here that was connecting to it so you could control everything. Green on both sides, so man, this is, yeah, all right, so that's not lacquer, that's just a shiny plastic on top of these circuits. So yeah, I can throw that in with my peripheral high grade. Now then, we've got screws. Screws all along here, and here you got each one of the hard drives has 4 screws on this side, and let's see, we probably got 4 on the other side too, just to make it fun. So yeah, 4 on this side. So yeah, we're gonna be we got some unscrewing to do here. What kind of music I can find to go along with this? They all come tumbling down. That was a ground, some sort of ground wire or something there, I think. Ugh. That's a lot of screws. Oh, apparently I missed one. How in the world did I miss one? And there's the hard drive caddy. And we'll get those fans out of there too. All right, so we got a power plug here. Yeah, not worth taking that out. We're just going to cut that wire. There we go. Some more wire. Let's get the shell out of the way for the time being. We'll get those motors out of there, don't worry. All right, so our hard drive. A little bit hard to get in there get a straight angle in there. There we go. All right, that out of the way. Now these are ID pins, so this is a non-SATA high-grade HDD board. With those, because Board Sort pays more for those, I take the board off of that. I have a drill preloaded with a Torx head for this. And then I can sell that to the local yard as a hard drive sans board for all my French-speaking friends. And then Board Sort pays pretty well for these. Now we have this little board back here. This was the controller visual piece here. I can't read those anymore. They're kind of messed up. Come on, get in there. Doesn't want to play. Why don't you want to play? There you go. You want to play now, don't you? Don't you? Think you want to be tough with me, are you? I'll show you. There's that one. Then it looks like this board will just snap off. Plastic. All right, let's get the wire off of here. Ribbon wire. Oops, that had some more green board on it still. Glad I noticed that. I don't want to be throwing green board in with my wire. That'd be rude. Rude behavior. Won't tolerate it. What movie did that come from? Who knows? Who knows what movie that came from? All right. So yeah, it's green on both sides, but there's nothing on that, so that's going in low grade. This is the LCD control board. So what we do here is give these little guys a twist. And once those are all lined up with holes, then the metal part comes off with the LCD screen. And I have yet to find a recycler that'll take the indium tin oxide that is used in these. So unfortunately, these are just going to trash now. I was keeping them for a while, but that's just metal shred. Then, that's nothing to write home about, just some plastic trash, but here, look inside. And inside, you can see these are all the little lights, and there's gold bonding in there. So while that is nothing to get excited about, that you want to pull. I'm going to throw that in with my mid grades because you might not be able to see it, but there's a coating, like a lacquer coating over all of that. And that gums things up really bad. So you don't want to put that in with your peripherals, but my local yard doesn't mind if I throw that in with my mid or my low grades. And then this board here, these are actually ICs underneath of those dollops. And you've got some visible gold. So those are actually components. So yeah, you can throw that in with peripheral high grade. Alrighty, now, DVD players, we might have a nice board in these. This is an older system, as we could tell from the ID pins. So we may have a nice sized board in these. Oh yeah, that's a nice board. No screws. So that gets sold to boardsort.com. They call them, the category is CD-ROM. I think it's just CD-ROM board. It might be CD-ROM DVD, something like that. So, but that's a nice board to sell to boardsort.com as a CD-ROM board. Hey, there's a disc in here. All right, so before we get the disc, let's talk about the rest of scrapping this out. That is not gold. Sometimes that's gold plated there, gold Enig. It's not on this one, so I just put that in with my little shred metal bits. The spindle is brass on this one. So we're going to put that in with our brass. We have 1, 2, 3 motors. I don't normally go after those, but for the purposes of this video, we'll show you what we're talking about here. Well, we might show you. All right, so this one, get off there. My yard will take that right like that as a small motor. Now, that little guy, I might need my jeweler's screwdriver. Let's see. Yeah. So I always keep a jeweler's screwdriver fitted with a 00. Yeah, that's not, that doesn't want to play. I hopefully I can get it with that. Yeah. So the jeweler screwdriver was not working on the ones that the two screws that were really tight in here. But so you need to keep a kind of a variety of Phillips heads available. 1 zeros, double zeros, because you're going to run into these. And then, again, I don't normally do this, but we're having some fun with this one. Let's see, what's the disc? It says Leatherface. So somebody, I don't know, we'll see if there's discs in the rest of these, but I got a bad feeling that somebody was pirating movies. All right, so here's another motor. Again, you can throw that in with your small electric motors, small copper bearing motors. And then the other motor that's in here is right there. This one is just appears to be held in with plastic. I don't know, let's see. Gotta get this tray out of the way to see if there's keeper screws on it. See, this is all plastic, so normally I just leave this the way it is. I'll show you that on another one. Normally I don't go through this much trouble to get these things out of the way, to break these down, because this is kind of a lot of work for very little gain in the motor department. Let's see, there's no keeper screws on that motor, so it should just pop out once I get a screwdriver in the right place. Get these plastic snaps out of the way here. There you go. Get the wire off of there. Wire, and another tiny little motor. Now again, I don't normally do that when I'm scrapping these. Also, these eyes, you know, when I first started doing this as a hobby, I would pull these eyes out thinking that someday I'm going to take them apart and try to get the tiny little things that might have some gold on them. You can kind of see a little bit of gold there. And then there's aluminum. I don't mess with that anymore. That's just like way too much trouble. So we can just shove you back in here now. We're going to shove you back in the frame. That'll all just go with the shred. Now, let me show you what I normally do when I'm just processing to get these things done. We get the board open to accessed. Now that we have access to the board, we get the board out of here. All right. And then I'll pull the brass. I'll look for gold on this. And this one is also not gold. I look for the spindle to be brass. If it is, I pull the spindle. There we go. And then normally what I would then just do is put that back on, throw it in the computer shell frame, and we're good to go. But I want to see if somebody was pirating movies. And that one doesn't have a label on it. So I'll pop that in my CD-ROM reader at home. And if that's Leatherface, then we'll know somebody was busy pirating movies. All right, I want to see, I'm going to record this again for y'all because we'll see if there's a disc in this one too. No disc in that one, but there's the board. And I'm checking these because even though they can be the same manufacturer, sometimes the manufacturers will get their supplies from different vendors. As long as it meets the spec, it could be different. So there might be gold plating on the ends of those. Why do I keep that? Because someday I think I might, yep, that's brass. I might process that stuff for gold. Maybe. I don't know. If I don't, then I'll send it off to, I don't know, Electronic Scrapper or Scrapping Irish or, you know, one of those folks. All right, well, I'm going to finish getting these done. If you're enjoying these videos, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And you got some icons that are going to be popping up. I don't know, there, maybe over there. I don't know, somewhere over there. Those icons are going to take you to more Shark Scrapper content so that you don't miss a single episode of me breaking down electronics, showing you how to do recycling, all that fun stuff. Have a great day.